what an HR see in a resume? Like, what do you see in a
Hmm.
CV? You do have years of experience. What do you see in a CV? First thing.
Okay, so if we talk about a fresher person, let's say, we will not talk about the
Yeah,
experienced one.
pressure. Yes.
If I talk about a fresher guy or a girl, how do they portray themselves over there? Okay, but basically, what people do that, okay, they have done this sort of education qualification they have. Then there
Yeah,
is a objective part. What is their objective in life? And they mentioned that three, four pointers. There's some of the candidates who just do copy paste, and some
right.
of them actually put in their thought into it and they write it down over there.
Hello everyone, my name is Panisha Puri. Welcome back to our channel Xaphal, and today we have with us Sonali Singh, who is a regional HRBP at Vistaar Financial Services Private Limited. Thanks for joining us. Before we move towards your journey and talk about your graduation days, tell our viewers a little bit about your current role, what you're doing right now.
Hi guys, I'm Sonali Singh. I belongs to Patna, Bihar. Have done my graduation from there itself. Patna University was the place where I have done my college, like my graduation part. Post that, I shifted to Dehradun and I've done my MBA from there itself. So Uttarakhand Technical University was one such university from where I did my MBA in HR, and from there only I got placed and went into a consultancy firm. Worked there for almost 4 years, and so like yeah, for any fresher person, if you talk about how do they think of an organization, how do they get into it, and what are the challenges and obstacles that person faces off, oh my god, of course it was one such big roller coaster ride for anybody. It is not just me, for any fresher person it can be in that manner itself, right? So talking about my first job, so this is the second one, and the first job was for a very longer period of time, 4 years, of course. So being an HR, I always suggest people to stick to an organization for a longer period
Longer
of
period of
time,
time, yes.
because showing the vintage of yours in one organization, putting it your heart and soul into it, and then getting the reward from them, and the way you grow up, you grow with them as well. That is one such thing which helps a lot. So yeah, when I joined there, I was just a normal recruiter, only used to call up the candidates, getting the screening done, getting the resumes through Naukri portals, and getting it through references or LinkedIn. These were the sources of ours. And that's how I used to get connected with the candidates. Of course, initially when I started, I was very much in, doubt that will I be able to pitch that candidate well or not, because it was not a entry level position. I used to deal
Right.
with the mid level people. So that's how it started. And then slowly and gradually, within a year only, I got promoted over there. And then I started directly interacting with the CXO level guys of those organizations.
Right.
To name a few of the companies, there were like a company called Yes Bank was there, L&T Financial was there, and many more BFSI companies were tied up with her. So I used to travel down to all those, companies, speak up with all the HRs guys and head of the departments to understand what are the people they are actually looking out for, and what is the expectation of theirs from that sort of candidate, and how we will be able to bridge the gap between them and the candidates, right? So I used to travel down everywhere, go to Mumbai, Bangalore, anywhere, and just understand their requirement, working towards them about what sort of people they're actually looking out for. So
Right.
slowly, gradually, of course, we understood that thing. We have worked upon it very well. And so, like I spoke about my growth. So first year I got promoted. Post that I again got a promotion. So being into a recruitment part, from recruitment recruiter, I went to a client facing role where
Right.
I was in directly dealing with the CX level guys of all the banking and financial sectors.
Okay.
Post that again, I got a lead level profile wherein I had a team under me.
Okay.
And before leaving the organization, I was heading the recruitment vertical and the client engagement vertical too over there.
Right.
So after completing 4 years of, of course, there were good days, there were bad days, there was every sort of thing. But of course,
Right.
while working in a consultancy firm, you make lot many contacts with people, like many contacts with people,
Right.
because you're speaking to every person, and that each and every individual is like an asset to you, which can help you out at every point of time. You never know
Right.
when who is going to hit you up, because you're into recruiting, you are
Right.
speaking to a zonal level guy or a head of department of any organization. If you are in contact with that person, even if you want to open your own
Right.
consultancy, that person can help you out.
How much networking is important in your field?
Networking is the, it is the bread and butter for any recruiter. Okay. So talking about an HR person, HR starts with recruitment itself. Once you
Yeah,
get into recruitment, then only you get into the talent management and the, HR
right.
operations part. So you
Yes,
have to, you're entering into it. If the doors are getting open for you, you have to get into the recruitment part itself.
right,
And if we are talking about recruitment, networking is the utmost important thing for any person.
right.
Networking is like, you meet up one person, that person gets connected you with another one. So it's like a
Right,
vicious chain wherein, you're interacting with people and that person is actually helping you out for your future perspective. You never know
right,
who will
right.
hit you when. It,
Yeah,
it is in that manner. So it is very, very important, Manisha. It's really very important to have a very, very good networking and to have, a longer, you need not to think about, okay, this person is, I'm talking to this person just for this span of time.
right.
Because you don't know that, because there are ample amount of opportunities which is going to come across to you, and maybe you will hit that person again and again and again.
How you manage your networking every day, to stay connected with those people.
In today's era, we are in a, generation wherein everything is there on mobile, right? You
Right.
have WhatsApp, you have
Yeah,
Instagram, you have LinkedIn. You have so many social media platforms, so you get connected with people. Like you rightly said, that we interact with so many guys on a regular basis. How to get in touch with all of them? Yeah,
right,
so you won't be able to get in touch with all of them. So that impression of yours and the other person, that's a very important role, because that is the time when the relationship is getting, it just started. Okay.
yeah,
And you are nurturing it while talking about yourself and the other aspects. The person
right,
also takes interest in you when you are actually talking. The person should be well spoken. It is not
right,
about being well spoken that your English is better or your
right,
grammatical mistakes should not be there. No, it is not the scenario. Here what you are trying to articulate to the person is understanding that thing. That is the very important thing, and that is the impression which a person makes about you. And okay, then he will be keeping in mind, okay, I met Panisha, or I spoke to Sonali at that span of time, and that's how we got connected, and she helped me across.
right,
At the end of the day, whether she was being able to close me out for that position
right,
doesn't matter. At least she has given me some sort of understanding which can actually help me out for future references. Okay, if
right.
I'm not being good enough at this thing, maybe in coming future, I
Yeah,
will be good at some other thing, right? Some other project is better for me, and that is waiting for me way ahead. And we are helping that particular person that, okay, that this went wrong, but in the coming interviews or wherever you will go later, you can actually work upon these aspects, and this can actually help you out to, get that desired position which you are actually wanting to have for future.
right,
So that's the connect you need to build with people, and the connection which you make at that point of time. And of course, this is not the first time when you're talking to the candidate.
right,
After that, there are many more moments when you'll be speaking to that person if he's
right.
getting shortlisted or selected. So that's how you build a connect, or that's how you network, with these guys. Because I have so many candidates of mine who are there on my Instagram profile or Facebook profile, let's say for the sake of
Right,
example. People say that I'm an extrovert person or an introvert person. I do not want to have, big,
right,
huge amount of networking on Instagram or for Facebook. What are they going to do to you? Nothing at the
right,
end of the day, right?
right,
If someone has a, a bad thing about you, either or like, any which way, he is going to do that thing with you.
right.
But if the person is actually keen and interested in knowing about your day-to-day life activities, then actually you should give a try, and you should actually be connected with that person. And because as I have so many guys with me, I myself get so many opportunities from them itself. I need not to go to Naukri portal or anywhere else to apply for a job, because people know me, they know your work, they know your work, and accordingly they get connected with you. So that's how you build your connection, and these connections are helping you out. And for future also, if you're wanting to interact with them or get some sort of help from their end, they'll definitely be there to give you an understanding. So
Right.
that's how it works, and that's how it helps
So,
helps.
what are the skill set required to be an HR?
So to be in an HR field, you need to, you need to be experimental, very, very much experimental. You need not to stuck at, one thing. Okay. So like, we know life is big, and
Right,
the opportunities are many, right? And looking at that part of it, being into HR is like, you are speaking to a person who is having a different sort of temperament. A very next moment, you're talking to
right,
someone who has a very, very different sort of temperament.
right,
So you have to, you have to make your mind in such a manner wherein if you're talking to a kid, You have to portray yourself in that manner. And when
Right.
you're talking to a mature person, you'll have to portray yourself in that manner itself. So, change of your own, change of your own guards, change of your own attitude. It's very important for you,
Right.
because it's not like changing yourself entirely. It's about modifying your behavior
Right.
according to the situation.
Right.
So while situation means any sort of case is coming to you, or maybe any sort of other candidate is coming to you, someone is being very harsh to you, someone
Right.
is being very lovable to you. So you
Right.
never know what sort of people you're going to get connected with. So you really need to,
Balance things
think
out.
really very
Yeah.
much calm, composed, and poised, so that you can handle and tackle those situations in that manner. You
Right.
have to be very quick. You have to be a problem solver, because you being an HR, you cannot expect that I'll go to this person and seek for help,
Right.
because there are ample amount of people who are coming back to you and asking, ma'am, how to do this thing, how to do that thing. A
Right.
field level guy will also come to you and he expects an answer from you. A head of department will also come to you and he expects an answer from you.
Right.
So you have to be, very quick in your answers, and you cannot be illogical. Yeah, talking is very good, but don't talk rubbish. You
Right.
have
Yeah.
to come with content and then give them an understanding on those parts. If we are not aware about something, that is not a crime at all. Take
Yeah.
a pause, tell the particular person that we are going to take some time and we will get back to you with the best of the answers from our end. So
Right.
that is the best way to do it. So being an HR, you should never bluff people from your end.
Right.
You should never lie about things, because there are so many people around you who are actually relying upon you and your words, what you are saying.
Talking about a
Yeah.
situation, for example, you need a candidate for a particular position and you talk to a lot of people about it. So,
Mm.
when
Mm.
they'll ask you back, what is my status? So, how you
Mm.
handle those things?
Of course. So one position and you get 10 number of
Right.
resumes, right? Talking to 10 number of guys and giving them different sorts of understanding, different sort of questioning they will also do from their end, because of course they're curious to know about what
Right.
are they getting into.
Right.
So, and then they are getting interviewed and someone is getting shortlisted, someone is getting rejected. A new person, when I also started, I was being hesitant that how will I be able to say no to this particular person. I
Right.
used to avoid those situations wherein I used to go to my line manager and tell her that please speak to this concerned candidate, I do not know how to answer him.
Yeah.
So it was like, a month I took wherein, and I was seeing that how do we reject a candidate in a manner
Right.
he doesn't feel bad about it, but yeah, he takes it in a positive way.
Right.
So going back to that candidate, if you're my candidate and you are getting rejected, I'll have to get back to you. I have to tell you that, Panisha, yes, the interview went really very well, and you were meeting up, some of our criteria, but most of it do not matching up as per the requirement of the organization. And
Right.
keeping that in mind, we won't be able to take your candidature ahead. Okay, so this
Right.
is the best way to do it, and because you are, because so many candidates are there who will never get back to a candidate stating that you are rejected.
Right.
He's in a state of mind, question mark, question mark. Was
Yes.
I ever been shortlisted or rejected? No
Right.
clue about that. So when you're calling them back and telling them that they are not being selected for that particular profile, they will actually respect those things. And when they actually want to modify themselves, like they want to understand that where have they gone wrong, and if you are helping them out then on that aspect too, they will take it in a very very positive way and they're going to work upon themselves. And
Yeah.
then there are few of them who will get back to you and tell you that, ma'am, I'm gonna apply for this position again if it gets open, and next time I'm definitely gonna crack it.
Great.
So that's how you answer to a rejected candidate too. Yeah.
Also to be in a particular field, there is a requirement of great communication. So, how you develop this communication skills?
So it's not about, I have not done any English courses or anything like that. When I started recruitment at that point of time, I was like only 10% of me what I am right now. Confidence was very low. Communication was pathetic, to be honest. But like I mentioned, that talking helped me a lot, right? Because there are people also, there are people around you wherein, like, with whom you are sitting across with, they will also help you to groom
Right.
yourself, that you need to work upon this thing, you need to work upon that thing.
Right.
Apart from that, the candidates with whom you interact with, right? So if
Right.
I have a zeal to learn something, if I have a zeal to modify myself and to become a better version of me, I will definitely understand, okay, these are the loopholes and I really need to work upon these loopholes. Yeah, when you start, initially there are so many loopholes which are there, but slowly gradually interacting with people helped a lot,
Right.
because you're talking to a mid-level guy, you're talking to a senior level guy. When you
Right.
are listening to them, you will be able to assess that, okay, he is modifying, we have a modular tone within us,
Right.
right?
Right.
Wherein we modify our tone, like, okay, when to up it up, when to down it up. It's like
Right.
that. While listening to those guys only, you grasp lot many things. And when I used to get any sort of new word from them now, or anybody across me, I used to write it down in my diary. Okay,
Okay.
this is one such word which I have learned, and I really need to know the meaning of that word. So that's how I have developed myself by interacting with people across me itself. I haven't done anything apart from that. Yeah.
When was the time you decided that you wanted to switch your job?
Okay, so that was 4 years, like I mentioned before, and uh, in on that organization, the thing was, it was a very small firm. Of course, we were dealing into lot many corporates, but anyway, it was a consultancy itself,
Right.
right? I had to get into a corporate. I wanted to get a corporate exposure, because
Right.
I've been into so many companies, so I knew how does it works and how it will it be. Yeah, I didn't get a corporate level profile while getting into here as well, but yeah, of course, getting into a corporate world was important thing for me.
Yes.
So that was one such most important thing, because I was wanting to get into something, and I was very, very clear on that on my mind. So because of that, I wanted to switch. Apart from that, that organization, my boss himself has told me that now I have given you most of the things which I had to give you. I have nothing to give, so you can actually go and look out for opportunities. That's what we discussed. And on a equally note, and we were on a very, very, we were in harmony that, okay, fine, now because you have also learned, and you have also helped me as well growing the organization,
Yeah.
now it is time for you to switch. So that's how we interacted, and then I just got into another job.
How you got your next job?
So it was just a random, it was a COVID time when I got into another job. I was not thinking about it, but like I mentioned, that I had an interaction with my boss, and that profile was not very much pleasing me, because I have done it all. Everything
Right.
was done and dusted. So keeping that in mind, then I was just looking out, I was searching for jobs at that one time, because COVID, we know that there was nothing for us, right?
Right.
So at that moment, I there was LinkedIn posts which were coming up across, and I used to apply for it. I had got somewhere around 3, 4 opportunities, but finally I got into Vistaar. Why? Because first it was an NBFC, okay.
Yeah.
Second, it was on a growing stage, so it could give me so much to learn. And
Right.
while getting into this corporate world, the geography which I was getting, that was something which no other organization will give. Like if I get into, let's say for the sake of example, Aditya Birla or HDFC, of
Right.
course they because it is such a big
Right.
organization, and the manpower, the headcount is so much that they have, for every department they have X number of HRs over there.
Right.
So you won't be getting the entire you cannot grasp the most of the things
Right.
from them. So because Vistar was a growing organization, and the headcount was somewhere around 300 in the zone which I'm talking about, so
Right.
they have given me 4, 5, 6 states altogether, and I was the only person who used to take care, who was supposed to take care of it. So that really excited me, and keeping that in mind only, I said yes for it. So I was the first HR who was a female there, but I
Oh.
really liked it. It is once a challenging task, but now, because slowly, gradually, you learn with people, you understand them, how do they work, and how to modify them. So it has helped me, and of course it has helped them also.
As an HR, what are your day-to-day activities may include?
Okay, okay. So talking about my day-to-day activity, yeah, recruitment, like I said, it is the bread and butter of ours.
Right.
And I'm not a HR operations guy. So we have three different sectors altogether. In HR, we have talent acquisition, which is completely recruitment end to end, from sourcing till offering the candidate, and getting the person onboarded and getting the induction of the person done. It is talent acquisition part. Talking about talent management is a very, very huge thing. Okay,
Right.
because here it is more about employee engagement. It is more about the organizational behavior. It is very much about the other aspects of HR, because here you are not doing the sourcing part.
Right.
And then we get into this HR operation part, which is a backend level profile, wherein payroll comes into play, wherein analytics comes into play. So these are three different sectors for us. Three really, like, entirely different from one such thing. It was one such. I am taking care of the I am a human resource for business partnering, wherein I am in touch with all the stakeholders and I'm getting to understand their requirements. I'm working upon that. So on a regular basis, I have to interact with all of my regional heads, zonal heads, my cluster managers, my branch managers, and speaking of which, my sales officers also, because they'll call you, they'll have ample amount of questions to ask on a regular basis. How many calls a person can get? Like, do you have any idea how many calls do you get? 10, 15,
15,
100,
20, 15,
20.
20. Yeah.
Chalo, great. We HRs get somewhere around 200 to 300 calls on a regular
Oh my
basis.
God, daily.
Yeah, yeah, and wherein it is about the existing employees, it is about the exited employees, and it is about the upcoming employees too.
Oh,
So it is in such manner wherein you are getting so many calls from people, and of course, if you are very passionate about your job, then you will speak to all of them, and you'll have to resolve their
right.
queries, whatever queries they have with them. So talking to these guys, which is one such most important things for us which we do. Then of course the recruitment aspect is always there. Then stakeholder management, wherein we talk to our line managers and getting their work done. What are they looking out for? Where are the challenges which they are facing? Then going out for branch visits. So like I mentioned that as I'm taking care of a big geography,
Right.
I have to travel down to Gujarat, I have to travel down to Rajasthan, I have to travel down to UP and Haryana belts as well. So we travel. What do we do? What do we when we are traveling to these places? We work upon the recruitment part. We work upon the training part, wherein we understand. Okay, this branch is facing this sort of issue, wherein I really need to work upon the behavioral aspect, or maybe on the product understanding, or any other understanding,
Right.
or maybe if they're having some sort of grievances which is happening at that particular place, you have to get into that picture too.
Oh,
Sometimes you also needs to be harsh. Why? Because you have to give them understanding that what they are doing, it is not right.
right.
So at that point of time, so that is also which we do. So training and induction we always do, like it happens. Then the recruitment part, wherein the joining of the candidates are going on, and it is continuously going on. We have to take care of the analytics part also, wherein we have to send our document details to our head offices, our head of departments, about what are the transactional activities which is happening on a regular basis. And
Right.
then talking to the new candidates also, because there's so
Yeah.
many new openings which is coming across to you. You're
Right.
talking to them, you're talking to your consultants, and then you're giving them an understanding how are they, what is the current mandates which we have with us, and how are we able to close those mandates. Then going
Right.
through the LinkedIn posts and looking at those posts as well, and then just doing the marketing of your organization. All these things
Right.
we do on a regular basis.
What an HR see in a resume? Like, what do you see in a
Mhm.
CV? You do have years of experience. What do you see in a CV? First thing.
Okay, so if we talk about a fresher person, let's say, we will not talk about the
Yeah,
experienced one.
pressure. Yes.
If I talk about a fresher guy or a girl, how do they portray themselves over there? Okay, but basically, what people do that, okay, they have done this sort of education qualification they have. Then there
Yeah.
is a objective part. What is their objective in life? And they've mentioned that three, 4 pointers. There's some of the candidates who just do copy paste, and some
Right.
of them actually put in their thought into it and they write it down over there. Being a fresher, you have to mention about, you'll have to, it's like bragging about your achievements. What have you achieved? What have you done during your college life? What have you done during your school life? Have you ever done extempore? Have you ever done any debate activities? Have you ever participated in any such activities wherein, the leadership trait should come up and it portrays? So these sort of things which we look at it and in a resume. Of course, apart from resume, when we meet the person in person, then we actually try to understand, okay, what sort of personality he or she is. Because what they have mentioned in the resume and what they are coming up across as, these are two different ballgame
Right.
stories
Right.
altogether. Because colleges nowadays, they're actually working upon the resumes of the candidates as well.
Right.
So we see that who is actually a real version of themselves and who has been faking it. We
Okay.
have to look at that thing
Right.
altogether.
What are the set of questions do you ask?
Okay, so talking about the experience interview part. So what do we do while taking the interview of these guys? We actually try to understand that whether the person is competent for that particular profile or not. So if
Right.
I'm looking for a sales guy, the person should actually know that how to pitch for anything.
Right.
So, you during your college days, or
Yeah.
maybe you have seen your friends or brothers and sisters, that people used to come interviews to ask them to sell out a particular pen.
Right.
So 10 guys selling out the same pen, but one was getting shortlisted. Why was that so? Because the confidence at which the person is doing the
Right.
pitching mattered a lot to those guys. For us into HR, what do we do? That we look at the confidence of the person, how confident he or she is. Will he or she be able to work into any sort of situation? We give a lot many situational based questions to them. Then we try to pressurize them from our end. Pressurize, and if we'll pressurize you with so much of workload, how will you be able to work upon it?
Right.
So they answer it, and then again we cross question on those questions as well. What do
Okay.
they answer? We are going to question that too. So because
Okay.
one question has 10 answers, and
Right.
those 10 answers, 50 questions will come out. So if
Right.
somebody is actually being reasonable, he will only speak about that thing which he will be able to do.
Right.
Because if the person is actually just going here and there and talking about stuff, he will not remember what has he said before.
Right.
So that's how we see it. So how intellect the person is, how keen he or she is towards taking up the task, how comfortable and confident the person is to for seeking up any sort of responsibility. That's what we look out for. Communication, of course, that is one such big aspect which plays a very vital role in today's era, of course. So that is important thing for us. But keeping that aside, confidence is one such important thing for us, which we see in a particular person.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us. That might be helpful for the students who are watching our show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Panisha. Thank you so much.